I was fired from my restaurant job of 3 years for translating and speaking Spanish. For the past 3 years, I have been working at a fast food restaurant, and I have also been doing college classes. So the money that I get at the restaurant is amazing. I'm able to pay for my rent, and I can also pay my bills. So I definitely did not want to do anything to sabotage me losing my job. Let me just say that the owner of the company has always been very sweet. He has always checked on every single one of the employees in that company, but unfortunately, he has not had much luck in trying to find good general managers because they're either very flaky, they don't show, or they're just extremely rude to not only the employees but the customers as well. Now, 1 year before I actually got written up and got fired, the owner had hired a manager. This manager was Hispanic. He spoke English and Spanish, but he was extremely rude. Whenever you would try and ask him questions or just try and see if he can train you on certain things, he would always get mad. He would always act like it's a huge inconvenience. So everyone in that restaurant tried to avoid this man at all costs. A few months after this general manager started, he had told every single one of us that you are not allowed to speak another language. You only speak English in this building. I don't care what other language you can speak. It's just the rule, or you're going to get written up. That has actually never been a rule ever since I've been working. So obviously this guy had something against us trying to speak in other languages, even though he himself could speak in another language, and he was always doing it over the phone with his friends or his family. Every shift for me consisted of me being at the front cash register all the time. I knew everything in the menu, and I was also really good with the customers, so that position for me never really changed. Now, I don't know if this general manager thought that I was stealing or what, but he was always right next to my shoulder. He would never leave my side. Throughout the whole shift, I just had this man looking over my shoulder, and it was very frustrating. But because of that, he caught me a few times speaking in Spanish, trying to translate to, a few customers who couldn't understand and wanted me to explain the full menu. Well, that pissed him off. He was not very happy with that. The first couple times he said he was being nice and he was just going to give me a warning, but that if I continued to do that he was just going to write me up. I obviously did not listen because this has never been a rule. If anything happens, I know that I can just go to the owner and say something. And so I didn't think anything of it. I did do it a couple more times, and that's when he ended up writing me up. On the day that he gave me my very last write-up, I did mention and tell him, it is weird to me how you're making this a rule. Whenever you walk around the store, you're pretty much speaking Spanish to your family and friends. So how come it's a big deal when we're trying to translate to customers that are paying for our food? I mean, I obviously offended him or something, but he just told me that I was fired, that I was let go, that I can grab my stuff and go. And then come to find out from my best friend who was still working at that restaurant, she found out that he put on the form where he was writing me up a bunch of lies. Something that would literally get someone fired that fast, which I never did. But he was trying to come up with an excuse because he got offended, he got mad, I have no idea, so he lied so that I could get fired.